Good afternoon. Here's my audience. All right. So this is a collection of pieces that will give you a better idea of the tribulations that I've been through in my life. The journey begins with a story about bullies and how they made an impression in my life and affected the way I see things and the way I come into contact with other people. It's hurt me in a lot of ways, but you know, like everything, once you get hit, you learn how to take it and you grow from it. Next will be a piece, a child's literature piece called Super Cow, the Bully, which is a funny piece. After that, we'll be covering another piece from a movie, Pulp Fiction, and the scene is the Captain Kangaroo Watch. Now, this scene expresses the severity of an important artifact that his dad dies in a POW camp in order to give his son this watch, his great-grandson this watch. So now this ties into my family escaping Cuba and the tyranny of communism. And this story associates to me the importance of, I guess, specific important items that show you what your family's been through to get where they are now. Okay, finally, my last piece is a poem that I wrote regarding the knowledge to grow and how knowledge helps us grow to become better people and can make your life better in many ways. Okay. And here's my first piece. Super Cow 2, the Bully. It was a young boy. He was being bullied by some older kids. The children were being very mean to him. Quick as a flash, Super Cow was there. The biggest bully was so surprised, he lost his balance. He fell on his body. Super Cow hung the big bully by his shirt collar to a tree to give him a timeout, asking him to think about what he had done wrong. After a short time, the big bully realized his mistakes, and he said, "I'm sorry." All the kids now realizing how wrong they had been for picking on this kid, they felt very ashamed of what they had done. Seeing him so upset, one girl went to comfort the little boy, giving him a big hug and a cuddle. The big bully realized how wrong he had been and promised to never be mean to anyone else again. So Super Cow let the big bully off, seeing how his work had been done, and flew away to save the day somewhere else. Now, closing for the transition. The drama behind defending myself was hard to handle as an elementary student. Trying to resolve or confront the problems instead of asking for help like they teach you to do. But being from a family that is all self-sufficient and is used to taking care of their own problems, never asking for help. I guess it's the machismo way of life. You know, you learn to do things on your own. So the point is, even though my mom was a teacher at the school where I was being bullied by these two bullies, you know, I couldn't tell anybody there who was going to help me. You know, they were the two biggest bullies of the 4th grade. Now, never being helped out of any bullying situation and always having myself to have to deal with these situations because of being the fat kid, for example, you learn how to take care of stuff. You learn how to deal with it in your own way. So it was a big step for me. Then finally, I confronted them, and this is what actually happened. I was after school, pretty much school was out. I went to go grab some book that I needed. Then I run into the bully. His name was Claudicio. I'll never forget his name because he was the biggest douchebag ever. We both liked the same girl. She was the tallest girl in class. I was the shortest, fattest kid in class. He was the pretty boy. So everybody always praised him, blah, blah, blah. So he goes up to me, he's like, you can't talk to my girl. And I was like, she's not your girl. She talks to me because she likes me. If she likes you, she'll talk to you. Then his big friend comes out behind me, sucker punches me. Knowing that I can't take them both on, I take off. Plus I don't want to get my mom in trouble for fighting in school. The point is that I could have dealt with it differently, but I decided to be the bigger person and just walk away from being struck by people who don't give a shit. So anyways, the point is that I've learned and I've grown from it, and this is the setup for my next piece. This piece is called the Captain Kangaroo Watch. I'm sure I'm over by time already. Okay. All right, so the Captain Kangaroo Watch. It's California, 1972. Young boy, his name is Butch. His mother asked him, hey, stop watching TV for a second. You have a special visitor. Remember I told you your daddy died in a POW camp? Butch is like, uh-huh. Well, this is Captain Coons. He was in the POW camp with your dad. Coons steps inside the room, looks at the little boy, bends down on one knee, brings him eye to eye level, and explains, your dad and I were really good friends, best of friends almost. We were in the Hanoi pit of hell for 5 years together. Hopefully you'll never have to experience this. It had been, we had been together for a long time. Major Coolidge would be talking to you right now if I wouldn't have made it. Your dad would be telling you the same story to my son. So, the Captain Coons pulls out this gold watch, Captain Kangaroo Watch, and he explains that he had gone through the First World War, made it through to his grandfather through the Second World War, where he died. And then it was passed down to you, to your father, who was captured by the Vietnamese and was held in a POW camp. Now, this watch was your birthright. So, better than to let any of these slopehead gooks take it from you. He shoved this ugly hunk of metal up his ass for 5 years because he knew that they would take it. So for 5 years he had this uncomfortable piece of metal shoved up his ass. Till finally he died of dysentery and your dad gave it to me. Then I had it up my ass for 2 more years till I found the way out, and within 7 years I was finally home. I hid this uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass for a total of 7 years. And finally I was sent home to my family. And now, little man, I give it to you. And he hands him the watch. Okay, now,